I'm Andrew Mayfield, I'm the community archaeologist. I've been here for 2 years and the project's been running for 5 years. It's a community archaeology project, so we're here to look at and understand and investigate the archaeology of the park.
I'll get digging again.
Yes, that's the tile that we found about 3 years ago. It's amazing after 700 years how it's retained its colour.
Isn't it? Yeah. The manor site behind us is the main site that we're dealing with at the moment. And so we're trying to understand the layout of the buildings.
You might have to get down the front. Okay.
And a bit more about who lived here and when they lived here.
Was that the third one?
And what they left behind.
Okay.
The whole site should be a house. It should be a manor house and perhaps any ancillary buildings. We don't know it wasn't also a farm. We don't know it wasn't primarily a farm for most of its life. But a young chap called Henry de Cobham inherited it by 1251. And it was then a house. And he died in 1316. He also owned other property, but we think he lived here. So we want his house. It won't be all that small because Henry and his brother John had a number of government posts from the king. The king often appointed the Cobhams to do things in Kent for him, like being sheriff or warden of St Ports. So it's not going to be a cottage. If it was an aisled hall, as we think it's round about the right size, this would fit. All we've got to do is find it. We have our outside walls, we have one base for a post, and we want some more. So we have a theory, but we need the facts which to support it. We'd much prefer unexciting archaeology with definite results and clarity, but we never seem to get that.
So that will build the courtyard area. Once we've taken all the soil away from the tops of the tiles, we think there's possibly a pebbled floor underneath there.
Community excavations are increasing now in number. They're a sort of a new aspect to archaeology. Community archaeology is quite a new side to archaeology. I think everyone sort of gets something out of archaeology, and especially with the increased sort of presence of archaeology in the media and on television, and because of Time Team. There are a number of other community excavations in the county, but this is probably one of the longest running now.
What are you up to?
Well, I'm basically cleaning up, and if I do find any pottery, sticking it in there or in there.
And what have you found so far?
Basically, I've found something and I'm not really sure what it is, because it's thin and then going thicker.
You found a lot of those here?
No, only one.
And do you enjoy coming on these digs?
Yeah.
What do you enjoy about them?
I like doing the digging because you don't know what you might find.
Everyone can get involved, and I think that's the great thing. Everyone you meet here wants to try archaeology, even if it's just once, just to sort of see what it's about, because they can understand a bit more about history, and it's so tangible, unlike history which you read in the books. You're actually dealing with things here which are 750 years old. And sometimes you're dealing with sort of layers that haven't been touched since then, so you're actually sort of standing where people were standing 750 years ago. So it's a very sort of tangible way of looking at history, and it's a sort of a fascinating thing to do, and everyone just enjoys the process.
So tell me what you're doing here.
Excavating a chute from the guardrobe. We've got a nice inclined flint chute there, and the waste would have deposited down here and into this pit.
So you're actually standing in where all the loo waste would have gone?
Yeah, other people's business.
Have you been assigned this because you've been naughty then?
It would appear so. No, it's actually a very, very interesting part of the dig, this, because the fact we've got a guardrobe is it suggests the building is of high status. Not everybody had a toilet in medieval times. Strangely enough, it's not actually that smelly at all. No, it's all right. I've not found anything that's tangible to its original purpose yet.
So would a property of this size have had one or possibly two of these?
I would think only one, because the people who would have used it would have been the owners, I would imagine.
And how would everybody else have coped?
Out in the woods. But we take it for granted nowadays, but in the medieval period then a toilet was Like a Lamborghini.
People come and see it, obviously, but people also take part in it. And we do invite them to come dig, whether they're children or adults or whatever, or schools particularly. And that is the whole idea of this dig, this community dig.
Does it make it difficult for the archaeologists to...
Yes, because you constantly get new people new to archaeology coming in and having a go at it. It also is a good idea, though, because it makes you think why you do things and whether you're doing things correctly. And you have to look out for people doing things wrong and set them right. So it's a very good exercise. So finding people isn't so difficult. Also, archaeologists flock in from around Kent and elsewhere.
Because I've been involved since a volunteer, and then obviously as I've been here over a number of years, I'm now sort of running it after sort of 5 years. But I think all the volunteers do find it fascinating because they always come back. They tell the previous year about what they've done, and then that year then comes along as well. So they all find it very fascinating, and I think everyone enjoys being here because it's a nice setting as well. So you're within Shoreham Woods. It's a nice park to be in.
Going. Oh, look good.